What's going on YouTube? I got a few comments and a couple other posts asking about the toolbox and what it is, what size it is, and more of an explanation on basically what the actual toolbox is. So in this video, we're going to do a full walk around the toolbox and explain some things about it. So first off, I kind of think that we should just measure the top and get a super accurate measurement, how big it actually is. The top is 46 inches. By about 24 and a half. So there you have it, 46 by 24 and a half is the actual top. And I did want to talk about the top. When I got this box, I kind of figured I would have to end up getting a piece of stainless, bent over it, like bent over the sides here and put a stainless top on it. But that's simply not the case. I've had the box for about a year now and I use and abuse it. Because like I said, it's a $450 box. It doesn't hurt my feelings to use it. So I've been using it. You can see there are scuff marks in it, but overall the top of it's in really good shape. And honestly, I didn't even clean it before this. So pretty happy with that. Haas actually purchased the same exact box and we can check it out in a moment, but we can go around. So on the side here, this will be on the right side of the box. We have a power outlet and you can see that it's actually pretty nice quality. Everything's pretty sturdy on it. I'm pretty happy with it so far. I'm actually pretty proud that it's held up this long, to be honest. And then coming around the back, you can see, you get what you pay for on this. There's rivets hanging out and stuff. But there's a couple of these screw holes here. I use them just to put bolts in and mount stuff on it. And there's the same thing on this side and this side. So come around this side's plain, there's nothing there. But kind of like an issue I've had in it, I actually ripped the badge off it so I could put a snap-on badge there. We kind of thought that would be a funny joke to have. But measuring the depth, so if we go straight in, find somewhere we can measure from, you can see that you only get about 2.5 inches from here to here to put stuff in. But you can see if you measure from back here, you get about 3 3/4. So it doesn't leave a whole lot of room for sockets and whatnot because, if you're in a decent mechanic world, you kind of want all of your sockets to be up top. It really helps me at least. So that being said, you kind of have to be picky and choosy about what you put in each drawer, which I wasn't really thrilled about. I was kind of wishing they'd all be about 5 inches deep. That would be a much nicer setup. Because going down to the next drawer, I have that problem there too. So this is my plier drawer. Keep everything in here plier wise, like scissors and whatnot. And you can see the depth of this one is just 3 inches. So when you do that and you get like a plier rack that stacks them like that on their side, you can see they can't close. And the only ones that'll close are my snap-on pliers, but I have a lot more pliers than just snap-on. So I can't actually use any plier racks in my drawers unless I use the top drawer or the bottom one. I don't want to do that because I keep my power tools down here. So the bottom drawers are actually the thickest of the drawers, have the most amount of room in them. And you get about 9.5 inches of clearance from top to bottom, which that's not bad at all. You can fit anything you want down here. You can see I got quite a bit of stuff jam-packed into it, and there's really no room for anything else at the moment, so that part does kind of blow. But another thing I want to talk about is if we open up this drawer right here, there is about 60 pounds of steel in here through all my sockets and stuff, and the drawer holds up really well. I'm gonna be honest with you, there's no sag in that drawer, hardly at all. Honestly, I think my phone's exaggerating it. There's really no sag to it with all that weight up there. And if I pick up on it, the whole box wants to pick up. That's why I think there's actually no sag. So I'm pretty happy with that. My only issue with it is it does have a little bit of side-to-side play. Like I can wiggle it, but I kind of think that's bound to happen with that much weight. But it is really sturdy. I feel like I could almost sit on it. So that part about it's really nice. And then the drawers are soft close. And they work even with that much weight in it, which is really nice. But my biggest issue with the box has to be the casters, by far. It's definitely where they cheaped out on the box. They are fully plastic, and it's actually, I think, where the maximum weight, you'd have to look up what the maximum weight for this box is. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it all goes through the casters, because these casters are extremely cheap, and if you wheel the box around, they are really loud, and one stone just screws up the caster. So I'm not really happy with the casters. It honestly might be something I upgrade in the future if I don't get another box. So other than that, I do really like the box. It's the casters for me that gives me the most amount of trouble. Plus the design flaw of the amount of room per drawers, the height of them, that really bothers me too. That's something I had to keep in mind when buying the box. When I was at Home Depot is actually where I purchased the box. I actually had to go pick up sockets and then bring them over and see if they fit. So Haas had his box for about a week now. Haas, you like your box?
I am happy with it.
How much do you pay for it?
Well, I got it $100 off, so I paid $421 for it.
How much is it normally?
$500.
$500. For my box over there, I paid $479, and is actually the upgraded casters compared to those. So technically, I have a more expensive box, and Haas paid more money for his. Even with a discount, he paid as much money as I did. So that being said, let's talk about Haas's box. I think with this box right here, you definitely got a lower quality box. I know they stopped making the box I have for a few months, and then they came out with this box, which is the exact same thing, but through a different company that makes it. I realized that the bench top up top, it's not as fitted nice as my box. Other than it does feel the same on top, but there's a lot of different flaws with this box, not like mine, where they lost a piece of trim piece that goes around here, and this piece is already starting to fall out. And then one of the biggest things I noticed is the drawers. I can hardly fit my fingers underneath of it compared to my box that has a nice grip to it. And then a couple other little things, like in here, the powder coat quality, but his is already starting to rip after 1 week. All the pinch welds are starting to break. So where my box, I was really happy with the quality of it for the price. With Haas's box, I'm actually a little upset with it. Another thing I wanted to point out are these end caps here. They just pop right out of place. And mine are actually different. They don't fall out as easy as Haas's. So that's a little different, but they are like super cheesy and chintzy, and they just literally just pop out. So I really don't like those. Probably just rip those out, forget they exist. But other than a few things that just make it slightly cheaper, that is the biggest differences between the boxes. Haas did lose a couple of the rivets down the side, but other than that, they are about the same. But the biggest problem is the price difference between that box and my box. My box is technically supposed to be a nicer, higher quality, more expensive box than Haas's, but he paid more money for it a year later from a different company. That's going to wrap up today's YouTube video, but I really just wanted to compare the box and then compare it to the newer version of it from a different company and the price that comes with it. It is more expensive for the newer version and it is not as nice as the older version. So if you can find an older version like this one, I'd definitely go find it and pick it up.